The new exciting piece that we've added to the kit is the Optimize functionality inside the Vertical Grading Editor. This allows you to create the vertical profile based on some parameters that you get control over. With the new tool, you get to create a vertical profile that incorporates some design criteria that leapfrog you to the start of your design process. So it's not going to design it for you, but it's going to get you to that first point of making a reasonable design quicker. It's on the ribbon up the top in the VGE. It's now called Optimize. So you can break this up into range, so you don't have to do it for your entire string. You tell it how often along that range it does. So that's the segment length. You can set some minimum, maximum VCs. So settings is where you can set the basics. Just leave this usually on the defaults. The only one you may want to muck around with is this generations. This is related to when you hit optimize, it'll only run for 200 generations, as opposed to if you hit start, it'll run until you hit stop. So you could run it while you're away for lunch, come back, and it might have gone through 1,000 generations or something like that. But that's where you play with those settings. The components is probably the key one. So in components, the criteria you're interested in setting for your string. So cut fill depth is related to the level difference for the centerline. So I don't want 3 meters. I probably only want maybe half a meter. Grade 1 to 10%, it's pretty good, although this is a pretty flat part of the world. You probably didn't see the vertical exaggeration, but it's like 50 times. But I'm interested in the grade being used far more over the top of cut and fill. So I'm going to slide the slider right up, push it up around 70. And then K value here, it's just a singular fit. So K at 5 is probably pretty good because that'll cover me for both crest and sag. Click OK, and then I click on Optimize. And it will give you a little warning. It'll say that if you don't like the solution, then you can undo it and it'll restore back to what you had previously. But I'm going to click it on and it'll start thinking. And it tells you down the bottom here, while that's flashing up, it's actually running those mutations and generating all of the versions and checking them against the criteria and calculating a score and then using that to evolve to create the next one, and it continues to do that. And as I said, it'll do it to the auto stop values that were in that setting. Eventually it'll flash up done down here, and then there'll be a score sitting next to it. So if you can see there that says 98, you can actually click on that score and you can see what it's done. So it'll tell you on the range that it's done. The fitness score is how well it's fitted based on the criteria and the weightings you asked for. And then the penalty fields are about whether or not it had to penalize the solution because it may not have been able to achieve your desired value. So say your world's really, really steep and you said I want a maximum grade of 10%, but the world's steeper than that and it's like 15, it would have hit a penalty on the grade because it's had to exceed your desired values. And then you can actually see the result sitting there in the background. If you hit start, then it would run continuing doing that until the button changes to stop until you hit the stop button. So that's the one where you can actually run it over lunch, come back, and you might see a solution that might be slightly better. But to be honest, that's pretty reasonable. From this point forward, you can do the design as you see fit.